The year is 2018. LeBron James, the greatest player of his generation, going up against the Golden State Warriors, the greatest team of their generation. Golden State Warriors are led by Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of his generation, Kevin Durant, and you have Draymond Green, one of the greatest defenders of all time on the Golden State Warriors. And they're trying to go back-to-back against this Cavs team, who is a year removed from Kyrie Irving demanding a trade, leaving LeBron to kind of fend for himself and drag an undermanned team into the finals to try to win his fourth ring. The theater was just there. Going into game one, the Cavs had to go through a gauntlet of playoff series, specifically against an upstart Boston Celtics team who had a young Jaylen Brown, young Jason Tatum, who took them to 7 games. And LeBron pretty much put the entire state of Ohio on his back and won Game 7 in Boston. And that was after, he was a one-man wrecking crew against Toronto and Indiana that year. And this was his going into his last year in Cleveland. There's all these rumors surrounding him. Is he going to go to LA? Is he going to play another year with Cleveland? What if they win a title? His future is very much up in the air going into this series. The year prior in 2017, there really wasn't a contest between the Golden State Warriors and the Cavaliers in the finals because of Durant's addition. Felt like a 5-game sweep, to be honest with you, that was capped off by a 3-pointer from Durant in LeBron's face in Game 3. There was a lot on the line for this game. The game itself was just a pretty close affair. LeBron is pretty much all of Cleveland's offense. I mean, there was only 3 guys in double figures that day for the Cavs. LeBron, 51, K-Love, and J.R. Smith, who we'll get to in a second. But it was LeBron basically going toe-to-toe with the Warriors and keeping them afloat. With 50 seconds left, LeBron goes down the baseline. Kevon Looney goes chest-to-chest with him and throws the ball in for a layup. And that pretty much takes all the life out of Oracle. Now, this wasn't popping like 07 Oracle, but this was a very great crowd. And you start to see a little fear in the eyes of Golden State. Not quite that we're going to lose this game, but we better get on our stuff to win this game. And then he completes a 3-point play, and he hits it. And then there's back and forth, and LeBron hits another layup to put the Cavaliers back up to 106-104. And there's a foul, an inexplicable foul from Klay Thompson that was drawn by George Hill. And George Hill makes the first free throw. At this point, you can hear a pin drop at Oracle. Going into this series, I mean, you thought the Warriors were overwhelming favorites a year ago. With an undermanned Cavs team, without Kyrie Irving, you're starting to see some confusion, like, why are we even in this position in the first place? And all that had to do was with LeBron James' crazy performance. But the game comes down to a free throw from George Hill. He makes the first one, misses the second one. J.R. Smith gets the rebound. He's just looking around to try to get the clock, to run the clock out. And LeBron is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And the clock runs out. And you just see LeBron be so dejected. But I think the crazy thing was just, even on press row, it was just so much confusion about what happened. Like, did he really do that? Did that really happen? No one called a timeout? Are you sure? Because there's so many different things that are running through your mind at this point. And then it goes to, well, what the hell is J.R. Smith doing? And unfortunately for J.R., he had built up a reputation of himself to, while being a great player in spurts, would be prone to mistakes like this. And it happened on the biggest stage. And so much is going on right here. And then there's a clip that surfaced online that showed, shortly after that, showed just LeBron's dejection on the bench and just how pissed off he was at J.R. Smith. And you go from this range of emotion from Oracle being, damn, we're going to lose to this guy again in LeBron, to, oh, we got a chance. And I believe the Warriors rode that wave into a Game 1 victory in overtime. And we got reports after the series that LeBron, in a bit of frustration, punched, I believe it was a grease board or something, and broke his hand and had to play with a broken hand the rest of the way. At the time, I was a writer for the San Jose Mercury News, and I was tasked with going to the opponent's locker room. So it was just like, get what you got to get out of the J.R. Smith storyline. Just him being dejected. J.R. Smith just being dejected and just a throng of reporters just running towards him and him not really knowing what to say. You kind of felt bad for him. He wants to win like everybody else. He knew what he did in the moment and what the ramifications were in the moment. So you go from that moment of just him being dejected, and then you walk along the corridor, and then you go into the press room, and you see LeBron with the Birkin bag and the suit shorts, which weren't a thing at the time, but he made it a thing. And Mark Schwartz asked him a question, and he says, "Be better tomorrow." You're trying not to laugh at the Birkin bag and the short shorts, but you also see the seriousness of the moment, because LeBron has to balance like his frustration with also not throwing his teammate under the bus, while also coming to grips with the fact that like his legacy's on the line. So it was like so many different things going on at that time. I just remember being in the back of, because I got into that press conference late. I remember being in the back of that room, and you can actually see me in the back of that room when he's walking out, and just how pissed he was, because like, and just seeing how pissed, you know, his people were. Like Rich Paul was in the back, pissed off. It really felt like a huge missed opportunity for LeBron. On the Cavs end, if they win a championship, does LeBron stay another year? Does he go to LA in the summer of 2018? Or does he try to play another year in Cleveland to get a back-to-back? And what does that mean for the Lakers chip in 2020? Does he, you know, there's so many questions on that end. For the Warriors, if they lose this series, because they went on to win back-to-back, if they lose this series, Kevin Durant had a player option going into that summer. Does he opt out? Because there was already rumblings, even after they won that title, that he was not satisfied with his time in the Bay Area and wanted to leave even after winning the title. There were whispers, because that was going into his last season. Does he just say, yeah, this has been real, I want to leave in 2018, and then the Warriors dynasty, or at least this version of it, looks like more like the Miami Heat of the 2010s than what it's considered right now? There's so many unanswered questions with this game. It's not fair. I mean, he's an NBA champion, you know, and hit big shots during that 2016 run. They don't win that title without J.R. Smith. But I think it's also the story of J.R. Smith's career of being very, very talented player, but the other stuff kind of overshadowing that. And is that fair? No, but that's sports, and by extension, that's life.